Yeah, so this is a great segue into what I wanted to talk about, and this is the idea that we push on scholarship. You know, recently I had I've had several people say to me recently, which is understandable, but we had one person say, well, they asked a definition of a Greek word, and Rob gave it to them, and then the question was, well, do you have any lexicons that support that? And I
said, I am the lexicon. No.
Yeah. And then we had somebody else say, well, this is pure,
why should I believe you if it's not in the lexicon?
Right. And then we also had someone say, well, there's an article that they referenced. Well, this is peer-reviewed article, a peer-reviewed article, and we were pushing against it. And then, I think there's this idea of, well, once again, back to the lexicons, like, oh, well, you're disagreeing with the lexicon here. How do you do that? And really, I think that one of the things that needs to be, I guess, just kind of highlighted I think the role of scholarship and the role of those who dedicate their lives, and this isn't necessarily me, but people like Rob and my father and those who are doing work in manuscripts and working on specific topics and have specialties and things like that. What they're doing is they are it's like Jurassic Park. Oh, here we go. I got an analogy.
Good. I like it. Go for it.
It's like the dinosaurs testing the electrical fences. The guy says, oh, the T-Rex, the velociraptors, they continue to test the electrical fences, and they'll never touch one in the same place twice, but they're looking for weaknesses so that they can break out. And this is essentially the same thing with scholarship. What scholars are doing is they're going and they're pushing on various aspects of scholarship that has come before them to see if there's weakness there and to see if there is something that has been missed. And ultimately, one of my teachers once said that if you are preaching something that no one has ever preached before, you're preaching heresy. And I think that this is somewhat of a truth. In other words, the truth of the Bible has always been there, but how we see certain truths and how those truths are hashed out and how maybe the remnant that is not the majority, but the minority is understanding the Bible. These things need to be worked on more and more. And I'll give you an example. This is something that my buddy Jeff Young said recently. He said that, and I don't necessarily agree with this, but it's something that has made me go, he was talking about a discussion that was happening at SBL, and I don't even know if Jeff actually agrees with this or not, but he was talking about a discussion that was going on at SBL, and I'm probably get this wrong, but this is how I heard it, on whether or not the idea of man being created in God's image means that only the people who have a relationship with God are created in his image because they have a relationship with him and therefore they bear the image of God, or whether or not all humans are created in the image of God. And this is kind of the discussion that was going on at ETS. And I think that that is a so that's something I've never thought of before, and it's not a mainstream belief. But we might press on that. We might hash that out and go in and look throughout the scriptures how something like image of God is used and how being created in the image of God is being used within text, and stress those points to see whether or not the traditional view breaks or not. So this is, I think, ultimately, when we look at something like Thayer's lexicon, we can say, well, this is outdated because good scholarship has come and has has hashed this out and realized that Thayer was wrong on this understanding. Bobby,
yeah, the reason the lex, if you go to BDB now, let's say it's a Hebrew one that's 100 years old versus Halot, which is more new, or you look at the BDAG, which is the newest Greek lexicon, which is being updated. The difference between lexicons 100 years ago and lexicons today is the quality of questions and the quality of attention given to research those questions along the line similar to the methodology you were just describing. In other words, why does BDAG, have way more detailed entries than Thayer? And that's because there is 100 years plus of scholarship refining our, testing and refining according to the questions that the lexicographists, those are the scholars, lexicographers, to the questions they're asking and the research they're doing to get answers. But as new lexicographers come and are trained in history and language, and maybe new archaeological discoveries or new texts are found, even that might not be a biblical text, but it might be a Greek text from the 1st century somewhere that has some use of the word paradosis, for example, in a new context. That new material gets integrated, it sharpens the questions that the scholars are asking, and then so in the new version of the lexicon, all that new data is now come to bear.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Tell us your thoughts on this subject by leaving a comment in the comment section. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and enable those notifications. And we'll see you in the next video.